Right quick. They were willing to put their name on the line for whatever it was that was coming towards them. And it was an opportunity to be able to share hope, to be able to not just share hope, but to live out that opportunity with one another, with each and every one of you here. I know that Miss Lisa works diligently. She has been in this profession of hers for a really long time, working inside Indian country in a very intricate way. And she's taking those same ways that she does each and every day for her job, for her family, and she's applying it towards each and every one of those individuals in her district. And then sometimes their work goes outside one another's district. But that's the beauty of this, and that's why this year you're starting to see more of these counselors come together and do some of these community events together, because they want you to understand that we do believe in Gadugi. We believe in that cornerstone of what it is to be founded on principles that matter. Not just principles that matter to you and I, but more importantly, they matter to the Creator, the one who blessed each and every one of us with the talents that He's given us. Now, Mr. Uriah Grass, I've known this fella for a really long time, and I've always admired him staying in that same path, that path that the Creator had planted into his heart long ago. He comes from a great family. I've seen what he's been able to do, whether it's youth sports, whether it's working in the medical field, or whether it's just being a community advocate for each and every one of you. You guys are really, really blessed to have these two individuals represent you, and not just them, though. Here's the thing, folks. This is a family affair when you're talking about what we do together. One family always helping another. Their families are with them each and every day, wherever they go. Whether they're there physically, they're always there mentally, and that's what it takes. This whole world is a challenging world at times. You'll see all the discourse. You see the divisive nature of the things that come our way. Well, I might be squeezing it too hard. Man, put that mic along to make a Warner right there. So, but you know, there's so many things that could tear us all apart. But when they bring their families along, it's always a reminder of what we can do. Now, families, they're not without some strife within them from time to time. But the most important thing I can tell you, folks, is I've watched it with my own eyes as a little kid. I think one of my talents was always sitting back and being calm, having the nature to pay attention, because I watched the same things that tried to drive a wedge between maybe my dad and my grandfather, who were both horse trainers, maybe an aunt and uncle, maybe siblings on my mother's side. Folks, this whole lifetime of yours is too short. Life is too short to let those things there. I don't know what's between different things today, but if you've got something that's bothering you, that's nagging at you, in Matthew it tells you to go to that person, have a visit, and then if it's not satisfactory, bring somebody along that's like-minded. Let's try to do these things together. I know you're Chief. You're going to hear Chief Hoskin in a second talk about all the different opportunities that we've had to work with this state that we all live in. And we understand that this state is great because of the efforts from each and every one of us and from our ancestors who did not pick this place. They were told to come here, but we made hay while the sun was shining, folks. We put a lot of things back behind us. We made sure that we were going to invest in education so that someday we would be able to invest in housing, so that someday we'd be able to invest in health care, so that someday we could continue to invest in one another. And that's what's so important. I don't get too far from the machine, you reckon? But that's what's important. We've got to continue to invest our God-given talents. Folks, we're all 99.9% the same. That 0.01% difference is where the Lord touched you in your mama's womb and gave you that love that only He can give, gave you the ability to understand what emotions are, to give you the ability to understand what logical things are, but how can we keep those two in harmony? The most wise elder, the different ones that I see from one side of the reservation to the other, outside of the reservation, they live within that harmony. And I step forward each and every day to pray that I can find that between logic, between that emotion, so that we can make collective decisions that move us to a better spot for the future. Your chief is going to tell you that many of us thought many times before that the best the Cherokee Nation would ever see was in the past, but that's not so. The best is yet to come. What part of it are we all going to play together? Which thread are you going to sew into that fabric that is Cherokee Nation? That's the question that I ask each and every one of you tonight. Are we all going to come together and make certain that we're going to live out what Nature Dog gave you, says to hold one another's existence stingy as a mother is with a child? These are important things. And remember, we couldn't, have we honored our veterans tonight? That is, when I get going like this, I think of the men and women that serve in the armed forces. I think of these individuals that signed up for something and they had no clue. Maybe they knew where they were going. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they was hoping for peacetime. Maybe they were hoping for different things. The main thing is they signed up. They're willing to put their lives down for another. Do we have any veterans here tonight? If we do, or active servicemen and women, will you please stand up so that we can honor you or wave your hand? Thank you. Thank you. It's important that we put that foot forward every day, because those veterans, it wasn't long ago when they came home from the Vietnam War era, there was no welcome home. There was none of that, and we never want to see that again. And it's up to each and every one of us. Not just these Cherokee community values that I speak of, they are not just for Cherokee. They were gifted to you by the Creator to share with the rest of the world and help people understand. So when somebody asks you, why do you think the Cherokee Nation does what it does? You tell them because they believe in their principles. They believe in their community values. They believe in helping one another no matter what state that an individual is in. And it may take that road to help maybe a little bit longer for some than others. But we're willing to tether together. And folks, look here. For every bad day, we're going to pray for 4 good days. Okay? And that's what we do each and every day. Now, there's another group here, and I was at a meeting last week, and we asked if there were any fluent first language Cherokee speakers. And Chief, you were there. It was one of those that it takes your breath away because nobody stood up, nobody waved their hand. Do we have any in this room tonight? Any first language fluent Cherokee speakers? Woo! Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I see it. I know. Thank you. Your chief has invested more time, more individuals, more resources than anyone ever before. And everybody, we've always been moving down this road. We were just blessed to say, hey, it's your turn. What are you going to do? Are you going to turn from the language? Or are you going to turn into it? I believe we've turned into it because it will solve the most difficult problems each and every day if we really harness those individuals that are there, and to continue, not just to preserve, but to perpetuate what we all believe is the center of our culture. How many here believe in family? Yes, amen to that right there. If you did not grow up in that traditional sense that my good friend Uriah Grass was blessed to be able to, but you believe in your family, you're right there. That's the beginning. Folks, that's the beginning to understand how we take care of one another in good times and in bad. But folks, I tell you, thank you all for showing up. Thank you for showing out for this community. There's great things happening everywhere. Not everything's perfect, but that would, if it was, we'd all just sit back and we just look at one another. Today, we get to grasp hands. We get to walk together. We get to hold that shovel. We get to hold that scalpel. We get to hold all that it is and take care of one another. So folks, thank you, but I tell you what, the message is coming. And it's going to be a clear message about some of the things that have been on your mind, some of the things that are going on, not just here in Oklahoma, not just on the Cherokee Nation Reservation, but all over. So without any further ado, my good friend, my mentor, my principal chief, Mr. Chuck Hoskins Jr.